You went to high school in San Diego, and you went to the same high school that Fast Times at Ridgemont High is based on.
Well, Cameron Crowe went to my high school, Uni, which is no longer there anymore, but it was, he filmed part of Almost Famous there, and this is just what I heard, that he based Fast Times at Ridgemont High on his experiences at Uni, and like my physics teacher was, you know, Mr. Hand from
Mr. Hand, of course,
Mr.
yeah.
Hand was based on my physics teacher, Mr. Roth.
Wow. And what about Spicoli, the one of the great characters of all time? Was that how everyone talks down there?
He's the archetype of everybody in my hometown of San Diego. I've kind of shed it, but at the time, everybody talks like this, bro. You can't understand anything.
What, was that you saying a sentence?
Yes.
Or
you can't understand anything
was that something going wrong in your brain? You know, we're two cavemen.
Yes.
Hashing it out.
San Diego is like the cornerstone of civilization. That's where it all began.
That's where all the cavemen moved.
Direct descendants of cave people.
Now, I understand as a younger man, you worked at SeaWorld. What did you do at SeaWorld?
That was my first job. I was 15, and I was a vendor. I was one of the people that walked up and down the stadiums with churros and Pepsi.
You sold the churro.
I sold the churro. Yes, you can. And that's the worst thing to get if you're a vendor, because here's the thing. When I was 15, puberty was not kind to me. I was very oily, sweaty, and it's the summer. It's a summer job, and I'm wearing polyester uniform, and they basically give you this metal box with a sterno flame in it to keep the churros hot.
Oh, there's a flame inside the box.
It's an active flame
yeah.
underneath the metal box.
And it's got to be melting. In San Diego in the summer, it's got to be 110 degrees.
It is the worst. It is melting the box to your polyester pants, and you're hobbling up the steps.
And you're holding the churro.
You're holding the churro.
Like the Statue of Liberty holding the flame.
Yes.
Yeah.
Give us your boar.
Yeah.
For the churro.
So you're making your way up. You've got the hot box. You've got the churro.
Yes.
That just sounds miserable.
Well, the worst time ever, I once got to the top, to the top of the steps of the stadium. There was a gentleman, there were people walking towards me. They love the churros, so they're coming to me. And the sun kind of got blacked out for a moment, and I turned and looked, and there was a seagull coming at me. And it gripped it, and I screamed.
Yeah.
And then it gripped onto the churro, and I started screaming more. And
why were you fighting to keep the churros? You have a box of 100 more. An animal wants the churro. Get rid of the freaking churro. How are you going to sell that churro after? A rabid condor.
I won that churro. I won the churro.
So it was like, caw.
And I'm like, no! And I went to the ground. I fell with a box, but I kept half my churro.
Yeah.
I kept it.
But then the sterno poured over. You burst into flames.
It was horrible.
Oh my,
It was my first job. It's the worst.
That's the worst / best story I've heard in a while. I love that.
My dad just loved when I got home from work. He would just like pretend to be reading the paper. How was work? Like, I don't care. And
did he even have a paper, or was it just invisible what you were doing? How was work? Dad, at least have a paper when I come in the door.
And he would just laugh at
And then the bird was in the window.